Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's been a long time since we've last uploaded something. I think the last video was 6 months ago and it was the how to make your own fabric face mask. So a lot of things have happened since then, so I just wanted to do a little update video before we get into the normal vlogs that we normally do. So when we filmed that last video, we were up to about 7,000 followers on Instagram, and majority of our sales were coming from the Dallas Farmers Market and other in-person events like happy hours, like the Halloween like dog contests out there. So we were doing so many events in person that was like, I think it was about 70% of our sales were coming through there. We did have an online website at the time, but my social media and online presence wasn't as big compared to local events like the farmers market. So I was going to the Dallas Farmers Market every Saturday. So we would have orders throughout the week, and then every Saturday we would go to the farmers market, set up a little booth in there, and people could come shop our Pet Scout shop products there. But then COVID happened and it got shut down. Only like the farmers could be there since they were marked as essential businesses. So we were unable to be there. With everything happening with COVID, we were unable to be at the Dallas Farmers Market. So that avenue of sales was shut down. And not only that, at the beginning, before the country went on lockdown, I ended up getting sick. I went to San Antonio with my boyfriend and we came back and he started showing symptoms. He started having a fever. He was coughing. I felt a little bit off. I just wasn't sure if it was stress or allergies, but I figured that I would go get tested as well. As you guys know, I'm also working an office job, and at that time the company had filed for bankruptcy, and then with COVID, I know there was going to be layoffs soon, so I didn't know if the pressure that I was feeling on my chest was from stress or if it was COVID, but I figured that I just quarantine myself and stay home. I did get tested. At the time, it was really hard to get tested because you had to have a fever and you had to have a cough, and there were very few tests. So my boyfriend went and got tested first, and then I went the next day. His results came back within 48 hours, and he was positive. And then for me, it took 3 weeks to get my results back, but as soon as I heard that he was positive, that he tested positive, I had a feeling that I would as well. So I decided to just stay in the apartment, not go out, wear a mask. Even though I wasn't told, yeah, you're positive or no, you're negative, I stayed home, I quarantined. And then the orders that I had from my online shop, I had to cancel and refund, just because I didn't want to be shipping stuff out. Even though I didn't know if I had COVID or not, there was a possibility that I was positive, and I'm glad I didn't do it. It was the right thing to do. So I ended up contacting the affected customers, and I gave them a heads up saying, hey, we are unable to ship your order. You can either wait so we can ship it, in a month, or we can go ahead and refund you. So that was really hard to go through because I just felt like it was the right thing, and I'm very glad that I did it. I didn't make it public on Instagram just because I didn't get my test results until 3 weeks later. So I was in that gray area for a while. And it was just weird. It was a weird time because it was like cancel culture was happening. People were getting bashed if they were testing positive. It just wasn't, it was just a hard decision to make, but I figured I'd just, take all the precautions, cancel all the orders, not ship out anything until I was confirmed negative. Luckily, right before all of that happened, my mom started helping me with the Pet Scout shop. She came on as a team member, and all of the fabrics had been shipped to her. So I'm very, very glad I did, because we had split our fabric 50-50. So it was a great contingency plan for our company. And right before COVID, I had purchased like 6 months worth of fabric. That way I could plan for the future months. So I had put down a big investment on materials for the next couple of months. I had lost a big sales revenue by the farmers market getting canceled. And then I had to cancel and refund 1 month's worth of orders until I figured out if I'm positive or not positive, and once I tested negative, what the next steps would be. So it was a scary time. I was ready to close down Pet Scout and just focus on my office job to try to not get fired during layoffs. So It was such a crazy time. It was so freaking stressful, but I'm glad that I took those steps that I did because I felt like I was more prepared. I had a contingency plan since we divided the fabric 50-50. Some here in Dallas with me and some with my mom in Kansas City, Missouri. Glad that we canceled and refunded everybody's orders, even though it wasn't a confirmed positive at the time. I just had a feeling that it was the right thing to do. And even though we lost sales and some of our customers were not happy that they didn't get to get their orders, but it was just the right thing to do. Luckily, my boyfriend and I did not have to go to the hospital. We could just stay at home, sleep, recover. We were able to quarantine fine at home. The biggest thing that I knew that I was sick is because even though I didn't have a fever, I didn't have a cough, but I did lose my sense of taste and smell. And at that time, it wasn't a known symptom. So I wasn't sure. I'm like, I know I've gotten a bad cold before, but I've never lost my sense of taste and smell. Because I remember I would take a bite of a jalapeno and I would not taste it. Like I could feel the heat in my mouth, but I could not taste it. And I did the same with a sriracha and I bit a lemon and nothing happened. So that's when I knew. I'm like, okay, I think I am positive. Even though I haven't gotten my test results yet, this is the right thing to do. And I remember going into the doctor's office and they gave me one of the medical masks to wear there. And I remember asking like, where can I get some masks? Because they told me like, make sure to wear a mask. Wait till you find out the results, but you should be wearing a mask. And she was like, good luck. You cannot find masks anywhere. So I remember just thinking, all right, if my boyfriend and I are sick, we need to have masks because we don't want to be spreading the virus anywhere. Luckily, we could just stay quarantined, but I found some old elastic because we used to make scrunchies in our website. So I used that elastic and made a mask for myself and my boyfriend with our fabric from the bandanas. So it ended up looking really, really cute. Before, like the first masks that we did were like the square ones, but they were like these fun and bright prints that were different. So we started making them. And then I would be on video walking Mango and people would ask, hey, I want one of those masks. Like, where can I get one? So I couldn't sell them. One, because it didn't feel right at the time since everybody was needing them. And then two, I didn't know if I had COVID or not. So I did not want to take the risk and possibly infect someone. So that is when I made the last video on how to sew your own fabric face mask. So I did that video hoping that I could help someone else make their own mask, and we actually got really creative because elastic was sold out everywhere. So we started using hair ties at the moment since we couldn't get any elastic. So after a month of all that craziness, I went back, got tested, and as soon as I got the green flag and tested negative, we deep cleaned the whole apartment, we disinfected it, and then we started sewing and donating face masks to frontline workers. In the end, we ended up donating about over 1,000 face masks, which is so many. I remember that we were only sleeping for about 4.5 to 5 hours because I was sewing here in Dallas and my mom was sewing in Kansas City, Missouri. And we were using the fabrics that we were going to use for the bandanas because all the fabric stores were shut down and people, and these suppliers were taking up to 8 weeks. So we were able to donate over 1,000 face masks and people wanted to actually buy them. And at first I was a little iffy. I wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do because we're in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't want to feel like I was, not helping out, but then I got a call saying that my job could possibly be at risk because the company that I worked for was going through layoffs. And that's when I was like, oh crap, I got medical bills to pay, so I better start selling them. So we actually worked with my grandma. She helped us improve the designs and we were actually able to make a different type of face mask. This is what they look like. They're super pretty. We made them reversible just like our bandanas, and we started using like really fun prints like this. So we opened up our shop. We literally pivoted our business. We started making matching bandanas and face masks. So that's how we kind of lifted Pet Scout from the ground. We were literally in negative numbers, and we were able to turn it around and actually start lifting it from that. Another thing that I had to do and pivot was, since all of our sales were coming in from the farmers market, 70% of them were, I had to learn how to improve my social media strategies, my online store. So I had to shift everything from being an in-person sale to all online. So I took the time to do some research, see what worked. I tested it out on Instagram. I started posting every day on Instagram, and that's what helped us, improve our audience, engage with them, and it actually helped us grow from 7,000 followers to today where we're at 19.5 thousand followers. It's so crazy to think that I was so close to shutting down Pet Scout. It's insane. From that month, we went from 7,000 followers to 19.5 thousand followers. And we actually tripled in sales just because I started learning more about social media strategies, how to improve my newsletter. I was getting on Instagram stories every day and posting 3 times a day on Instagram. So freaking crazy, but I'm so glad that I stuck to it. It was definitely hard work because it was long hours of sewing, but it was honestly worth it. So a little update to where we are now. We are now in a different apartment. We were able to get a 2-bedroom apartment. That way Pet Scout could have its own office. It got to the point in my old apartment that I was cutting and sewing on like my kitchen table. There was no room anywhere. We had outgrown the space. So now we've upgraded to a bigger apartment. It is a 2-bedroom now. So it's super cool that Pet Scout can pay rent. We've also added new products to our website. We now carry reversible harnesses, leads, and poo bags. They're super, super cute and I'm so excited to add them on. We have also expanded the team. I'll introduce them to you hopefully in the next couple of vlogs. We have someone helping us from home, and then we have someone coming in to help us package orders. I should be getting a cutting table this weekend, but she'll also help me with that. So I'm super excited that we were able to keep Pet Scout, and we also grew the Pet Scout family. So before you guys got to meet Mango, and now we have 2 new puppies to the family. So their names are Harry and Henry. Harry is with my parents in Kansas City, Missouri, and they were so kind enough to let Mango stay with them as a little vacation, just because it would have been so stressful for Mango to be in a small apartment with a puppy in training. But I'll leave Harry's Instagram account below. My parents created an Instagram for him, and it's super cute to see the updates from them. Come here. So this is Henry. He is 13 weeks old. He's about 24 pounds. I don't know if you can see. He's growing super, super quickly. He is a golden retriever puppy, and we're working on the training. We're not there yet, but he's doing really, really well. He's mostly potty trained now, but yeah. So that has been our journey. For the past 6 months. It's been crazy to think at where we were 6 months ago. I thought I was gonna have to close Pet Scout down. I ended up getting COVID. I almost lost my job, but we were able to pivot Pet Scout, and we were actually growing the team. So it's super excited to be able to share that with you all. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for listening to our long video and to our update. We're super excited to be back. We're super excited to continue growing Pet Scout. Hey. And for you guys to see Henry grow. He's gonna be growing so quickly. He already is. So I'm thinking of doing like an updated apartment / studio tour, some puppy training videos as well. I think he's mostly potty trained, knock on wood. He hasn't had an accident in a while, but we're still working on walking on a leash. He still pulls, he still runs. He can sit, but he won't wait, he won't stay, so we'll definitely be sharing that along. And if you guys have any questions or requests, leave them down below, and make sure to check out our Instagram. We're actually doing a dog model contest, so if you have a puppy, make sure to have them enter. Say goodbye. Thank you.